Hey everyone, this is Ultra Runner. Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to go do a little quick posing video for Jinx. I had a subscriber reach out to me and was asking about my Jinx pose and wanted to see if I could kind of give him a little detail on it, because from a lot of the videos, a lot of the blogger videos, you'll see her with Fishbones on her back. And of course, she doesn't come with any attachments to actually make her fit. And honestly, because of how, with the full silicone body, you probably don't want to actually have her really have anything attached to it, because you wouldn't want to damage this, because of the material. So after looking at a bunch of different ways of doing it, I just like, okay, I'll probably have to fake this to make it fit. And so what I did, I wanted to find a pose I really like for her. So you're gonna see here, she's basically standing with 1 foot flat here, and then got a kind of one bent knee bent, got a little arch on her back, arm straight down with her gun, with a little bit of an angle to it where it looks like it would naturally hang. I've got her minigun across her shoulder, and then I've got Fishbones on her back. So if you look at it, it looks like she's just kind of standing with Fishbones on her back, and her head's kind of leaning up against it, a little bit of tilt. I do have, these are the France DC eyes, and I guess I'll punch in for those. Let me see here. Oop. So, we'll turn this way here. So those are the France DC eyes. Made a video about him. He's on Instagram. Those basically make a huge difference, because of course they look like the shimmer effect without having to have the UV light cast on all the time. They're just painted that way, and really, however he did this, I mean, they're amazing, because even across my room, without the lighting on fully during the daylight, just sunlight shining into my office, I mean, you can just see those eyes, and they're great. But this piece here, so kind of get into what I did here. So the waist clamp is here, so you can kind of see that there. If I bring it in a little closer, so you can see the waist clamp is here. So I've got her actually in the waist clamp. So if I take her out here, and she's barely in it, because I've got the waist clamp going through her her little loop here. So right here, I've got it from the back side, the waist clamp is there. And so basically, Fishbones is mounted to the stand. So, and I just use zip ties. So I've got zip ties here, or twist ties here, because I was gonna go back and change it up and maybe use zip ties once I got finalized. But once I got it on there, I was able to put these in different places where I could hide them. But that's really what it is. And Fishbones is secure. Like, I'm shaking it here and it's not moving. So it's actually mounted there, and it's not leaning up against her at all. Now, the reason I have a zip tie here, so I have Fishbones mounted here, and I have a zip tie here as well. The reason that twist tie is there is because I wanted to actually pull this open, so that clamp is actually not clamping. So like I said, when I slide her in here, you can see I just push the one rod through. And so when I sit her down, she's really standing up on her own and using that for balance. But that clamp is actually not clamping on her. I just push her back into the slot, and depending on what angle I can get her to hide it. So I go back here, you zoom back out here. So now, pushing her back into it, the clamp's not grabbing her body, so I'm not worried about it pinching her outfit or anything like that at all. Her minigun is sitting on the rail, which kind of gives it that look like it's on her hip. So from that angle, let me punch a little bit here. It looks like it's on her hip, but it's not on her hip. So that's actually not touching her body either. Now this part here is not silicone, that's PVC. So, but it's not gonna scratch it up or anything like that at all, because it's actually sitting on the deal. But because I have her hip cocked, it looks like it's just on her hip, and she's got a cool little angle to it. And then a head tilt, and like I say, and then Fishbones. So like I said again, get her back in a position permanently. So now, if you look at that angle, it looks like she's standing there with Fishbones on her. And I had it turned where Fishbones was, and I turned Fishbones this way, where he's straight as opposed to like with the hook facing over her back and the fin out this way, perpendicular her, because I wanted to, from the profile, I wanted to see it that way. Plus, to me, this looks a little bit more realistic. I feel that if she would have it on her back, it would look like this. So that's kind of how I did this. So for anybody who has Jinx and is looking to whatever kind of pose you're going to put it in, I mean, you might not want to do the pose I have. Like I said, I wanted something that looked pretty, I would say kind of seductive, but also kind of like just like arm to the T. So she is going in full. I actually had one of her little grenades on down here too, about the chompers, but I decided not to do that just because it really didn't add anything to the display. But I wanted her to have this really kind of cool, I say like Harley Quinn-esque, you know, seductive kind of stance, or feminine stance, I guess, put it a better way. And then, but also have her just like ready to go to war, you know. So between her pow pow and then the minigun and Fishbones, she is just strapped, ready to go. Like saying, so I'll turn around and kind of show you what it looks like around. So again, of course, I just took her hair and just put her hair into a pretty good position there, just because that's just kind of how I wanted her hair to flow, because that's one thing about her on the episode, or all the episodes, her hair just kind of almost like it had a mind of its own. So, but this is what she looks like and full there. Okay, so again, she's standing up, and I'm just using the brows, a little bit of race, and it's not enough pull where it's actually pulling on her clothes, but it does have like a little, because that little part moves up, and this right here is actually animation accurate. So on a lot of the blogger photos, they have this pull down, but she actually has it up in most of the show. This is actually up a little bit, so that's showing. So actually it kind of helped with that piece too, and I'll show you when I put her back on the shelf with Vi right quick. All right, now that she's back on the shelf with Vi, you can kind of see. So I've got her kind of looking, I've got Jinx looking over her shoulder in Vi's direction, and I've got Vi just kind of looking toward the center, but kind of like with her in the corner of her eyes. So again, them side by side look pretty great, but I just wanted to, since I had a request to show how I had Fishbones mounted, so hopefully this gives you a good idea of how it looks. Again, you can definitely do it cleaner with, you know, without using twist ties. Finally go out there and use zip ties to get it mounted on there. But for me, once I got it in place, I just hid the little pieces, because I might want to change it later on. And honestly, adjusting the twist ties or the zip ties when I first started doing it, I couldn't really get the position I wanted. But now that I have it that way, I could always go back and make it, you know, more semi-permanent or maybe cleaner look. But you can't see it from the front unless you like are really looking for it. And I just like the way it ended up turning out. So that's just my option there, because I wanted her to have all the weapons, and I didn't want it sitting on the ground, you know, which I had it before. I had it sit in between her legs, and she had, you know, her gun on her hip and her minigun ready to go, but or with both hands armed ready to go. But I think this is the cleaner look, and I just just wanted to kind of get in a really cool pose, like I said, just more of a feminine pose with, you know, looking like almost like a man at arms ready to go to battle. So let me know what you guys think. Comment down below if you got any questions or concerns about this. Thanks so much for hanging out. Later.